etc. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the greatly subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live, like now, I post a new video. And don't get over this video. If you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, or you just want to give this channel some love, I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. So in a moment, we're going to be talking about why I quit Facebook dating. Take a break. We're going to be discussing that in a moment, all those reasons why. But if you don't know who I am Sandra Burmy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories book. It's real life asexual stories. Link is down below. I'm also the author of this Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, which is a great autobiographical read, especially if you love superhero books. It'll teach you how to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier. So I'm just going to grab my water, which is here, going off screen. I forgot to bring it over. So I'm currently streaming this at 0:22 a.m. in the morning, and I haven't been to sleep yet. So that's why I'm looking a little bit red-eyed, and that's why I wasn't on that last night before, because I haven't been to sleep yet. I haven't had a chance to do my stream. So let's get on with tonight's show. So as you know, I've been doing Facebook dating for quite some time. I do specialise in dating and relationships, advice and coaching and mentoring for asexuals on this channel. And so it might surprise you to know that I've quit Facebook dating. Now, I am going to say that I've used their take a break feature. So this means that you don't have to get rid of all your profile, and that anyone who you already matched with can still talk to you or message you, but you will not show up in search, and other people won't see you in their search. So basically your profile will be like hidden to new people. So if you aren't aware of what that is, the features, let me just show you. So with Facebook dating, it's the little heart, and it's this, you know, you can go on to take a break. So it says you're taking a break, and that, you know, you get it from basically changing the general settings. So where it says account, you can click on the take a break. And so yeah, so I decided to take a break, and that was because, really, to be honest, I was just so fed up with it. Right, just everyone is just so sexual on there. I had enough. And with Facebook dating, I was getting a lot of the same people over and over again, like matching with me. And it's kind of crazy. Like, Facebook is supposed to have thousands and thousands of people on it, yet I'm matching with the same people I've already spoke to that I've disqualified. One guy I spoke to, he goes, "You already talked to me." I said, "I messaged you before." He goes, "Yeah, you already messaged me in November. We talked in November, but you decided that I was no good," basically. I'm like, "Why? Because you were dishonest? Or because you like sex and I don't?" And he's like, "I can't remember, bye." And that was it. But there's been some other people, like, was another guy, and I said, "We spoke before," and he's like, "SS," which I think means yes. You know, and so I'm just getting the same guys come up. And, you know, to say Facebook dating is so big, so huge, there's thousands of people on it, and I'm getting the same guys that I only spoke to a couple of months ago on there. For me, that's just getting boring now. It's getting ridiculous, you know, and, you know, they're so sexual on there. You know, there's one guy who I had the last conversation with, basically, who said, "Oh, hi, Amit. Lots of love to you." Yeah, so there's one guy on it that I last spoke to, and he says he doesn't need intercourse, that he's actually repulsed by the intercourse. He doesn't identify as asexual, right? Doesn't, right? But he doesn't like the intercourse. But he likes doing everything else, like kissing and licking and touching, basically, and I just don't want that. So I decided to quit Facebook dating for now, and not actively pursue any dating at the moment, which is quite shocking. Like, I was feeling really happy about it, and then I've since felt sad about it, because obviously I specialise, thanks for the thumbs up, I specialise in dating relationships on this channel. It's something that's very close to my heart. I still feel for it, and I don't know how long I'm going to last quitting it, because if it makes me too sad, then I will start doing it again, because I think you have to listen to your own. Don't know how long I'm going to last quitting it, because if it makes me too sad, then I will start doing it again, because I think you have to listen to your own voice, your own inner intuition, and kind of dating and relationships as part of my life, really. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you know, it helps me gain experience, and so I have quit Facebook dating. I'm still in dating groups. I'm still on dating sites. I haven't stopped being on asexual dating sites. And obviously I run 3 asexual dating groups. But at the moment, I don't want to focus on dating, because I think I've been focused on dating and getting a relationship since 2014. I tried Facebook dating and other groups because I hadn't been able to find my asexual soulmate since 2014, so I was trying other things, right? Maybe he's hidden on Facebook dating, maybe he's in another group, and that still might be true. But at the end of the day, I'm not getting anywhere. I mean, if you heard what I said about the dating group that I was in the other day, the entrepreneur one, and how much discrimination I had against asexuality, and how many horrible comments. They weren't all horrible, right? There was a lot more than I'd ever got in my life in one go, and it was a lot for me, you know, disgusting stuff, you know. People just kept saying about therapy. I didn't ask or question my asexual orientation. I was just saying I'm asexual. I was bombarded with, oh, you need to look deep inside at your childhood. You need to get some therapy. It's like, I did look deep inside my childhood and realised I was asexual. I did look deep inside my past and came to the revelation that I'm asexual in 2014. Do you know, Amit, I like your room. That 2 pony. The unicorns, Amit. Yeah, they're cute. They actually their horns flash and light up as well. So yeah. It's really good. I got an asexual friend bought me them, actually. So yeah, I'm still going to maintain my friendships, obviously. But in terms of romance at the moment, like, I'm feeling sad now, but I was feeling really empowered earlier. And now I'm feeling a bit sad about it. I'm not sad I quit Facebook dating for now, though, because it's just taken up so much of my life, so many hours. And I'm thinking I do need to focus on me and my career now. And I think all the time I'm spending on dating and relationship searching, I can actually be using more productively in a career-wise. I only hope that I get into a huge rhythm of being productive career-wise, so that I don't miss the dating and relationship stuff as much. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm just missing it because of withdrawal symptoms at the moment. And I'm not saying I'm quitting forever or anything like that. Facebook dating, I'm quitting for now because I've had enough of it. You know, I'm fed up of talking to sexuals, you know, it's just too much. And the last guy that didn't want intercourse but everything else he liked, you know, he was then saying, oh, you put conditions, too many conditions. It's like, they're my boundaries. I don't want guys' hands all over my body, you know. And he was like 35. He said he was 34, and his profile said 35. To be honest, I want a younger guy. There's not many older guys. There's no older guys I like, you know, older in birth certificate age than me. And guys in their 30s are getting a bit old, you know. Facebook dating is disappointing. Most hide things, and most times they are straight. Yeah. I've seen a couple of polyamorous people on there. I saw, I think, 2 bisexual people on there. But I haven't yet come across an actual asexual person on there. But I exclude my friends because I didn't even know you were on it. But I exclude my friends. They're on my friends list because I know we're not suitable for a relationship, even though I know a couple of my friends are on Facebook dating because they heard about it through me. They decided to try it. But thank you for your input, Amit. Yeah, so, you know, I just think it's better for me at the moment to quit that and focus on career, but I'm feeling sad about it now. So I don't know, you know, because I don't want to make myself sad. If I think, like, in a week's time, I'm really sad, I feel better when I'm doing it because maybe I just get a buzz out of it. Maybe I could just learn so much and I talk to lots of different guys and maybe I like that, you know? So maybe I will decide to do it back again, or maybe I'll just have a break for a few weeks, or maybe it'll be longer. So I don't know, you know? I don't want to make myself sad, so I'll do whatever I feel's right. I was just getting so fed up with it. It was draining my energy. And when it gets to that stage, it's just like, quit it for now, you know? Nothing's worth draining your energy over. You need to have more energy back. I feel like I've got more energy come back just by quitting Facebook dating and by not focusing on that. So I think that's a really positive thing at the moment, you know. But you know, like, I just think, and you know, with this guy, when he wanted to put his, you know, like, he was saying what he did with his ex, basically oral sex, even though he didn't have intercourse, you know. And it's like, and he asked me about wanting that, and I'm like, no, I don't, because I said, don't do that to a guy. And he's like, what about on you? I'm like, no, I don't want that. I'm not interested in it, you know. And anyway, so, you know, I just got so fed up of all the sexual people. There was one guy on here which I had a conversation with, which was a guy I spoke to. I've still got his message up, and he was like, oh yeah, he said he's looking for a good girl for him, not only for fun. And I said, I see. Well, I hate sex. So not interested in that at all, and looking for a guy who's happy to have a sexless relationship, which you aren't, as you want to have fun too. So if someone ever on a dating app, not asexual, says they want to have fun, they don't mean hanging out at a theme park, going to see a movie, cuddling a cuddly toy, or actually watching Netflix or playing video games. They mean having sex. Having fun, when sexuals say it, means having sex. So in case you're on traditional dating sites or in traditional dating groups, and you're seeing this have fun, and you're like, oh, that's a fun guy, I want to be with him. It's like, if you want sex, be with him, but otherwise, fun means sex. Get that into your mind, right? Fun does not mean asexual fun. Fun means sex. That's what sexuals mean. Whenever they say in the profile, a guy who likes to have fun, that's what it means, right? So you've got to understand that, yeah? So what's it? Right, yeah. So he's like, but because if no have sex, that is not love. So that's what I was really peed off about, you know? This guy's like saying that if you don't have sex, then you can't love someone, which is absolute load of twaddle, as we both know, right? Love is not sex and sex is not love. They're two completely different things. So yes, you can have love without sex, you know? And I said, well, that's no good to me. I want pure love without sex. Love without sex is true love. So I wish you good luck finding a suitable girl for you, as we are definitely not suitable. And he's like, okay, baby, good luck in your life. I hope you find a good person. Thank you. So we left on amicable terms. It wasn't horrible terms. He wasn't a really nasty guy. But the fact he believes that you can't have, you know, like, love without sex is just ridiculous, you know? And I'm just sick of it at the moment. I'm absolutely sick of it. I've had enough. You know, it's like, has anyone not got a brain? Obviously asexuals have, but you know what I mean? It's not all sexuals are bad, right? My best female friend's heterosexual, right? But when you go on dating sites like that, it's like, have you got no brain? Can you not think for yourself? Can you not logically see that not everyone's going to like everything in life, including sex, you know? And I just think, you know, being in the entrepreneur group, and I don't want to waste any of my time in life. You know, I'm still in that. I'm still making a few comments occasionally on some of the other posts. But, you know, I just feel like I've got to make sure, I've got to start focusing on my career more. And I think relationship and career at the moment is not going to go together for me, really, because I haven't got finances to start a relationship, because, you know, I just haven't. And, you know, I mean, if they lived locally, it wouldn't be so bad, but you know what I mean? Most people just live miles away, and I need to get into a routine of doing lots more stuff, productive stuff, and I can't do that if I'm too focused on dating relationships. You know, it takes hours to really search. It takes hours. I mean, I'm usually on Facebook dating for over an hour at a time. You know, if I'm on there every day, that's 7 hours of my week. Sometimes it's a lot more, you know? And it's very interesting, though, because one of my people who I'm connected to on Facebook is a friend. I haven't heard from him for ages. I've been friends with him for years. He came on my post and said that I'm doing better than him because he doesn't get any responses. Yeah, I do get a lot of responses, even though I'm asexual. I'm guessing it's because I'm good looking, and lots of guys can't resist talking to a good looking girl, right? Because I just pretty much know that's going to be the case. So they obviously, what other reason would there be to talk to me? unless I'm just really good at getting into conversation with people. That's the other thing. But usually if people are not attracted to you aesthetically, then they're not bothered about talking to you. So, you know, I think, I don't know if I should do an actual book about Facebook dating, how to navigate and get into conversations with people and get responses, because I'm good at that bit, getting into conversations and actually getting responses with people, which I have seen a lot of people on Facebook dating actually struggle with. A lot of people is going, does anyone talk on this thing? Does anyone respond? So clearly, I'm getting further, or got further than they did. Good morning, Sandra. How are you? Lots of love, Viola. I haven't been to sleep yet, so it's a good morning and it's a good night and it's a good morning again. It's 06:37 just gone now, but in the UK. But I'm happy and I'm feeling good because I've quit Facebook dating for now. I did explain what that means. That means I've hit the take a break button, so no people can see me in their search. I can't match with any new people. And so only the people I've previously matched with can speak to me. But yeah, I've decided to quit it because it's taking too much time. Like I said, Theola, I've quit Facebook dating for now. So, because it's taking up too much of my time. So, yeah, I want to focus on myself and my career more, you know? Because another thing, you know, with the guys are all sexual on there, and I think to myself, I can get young, hot, foreign guys in my city to snog when we're not in lockdown. I can go and do dancing, which I absolutely love because it's great for my body. I can go and kiss younger foreign guys and not have to have sex. And, you know, when I go on Facebook dating and they're all sexual and expect sex in a relationship and they're all, you know, wanting to hook up, you know, for sex, it's like, no, I don't want that. And I can get really young, hot foreign guys in my age group that I like, early to mid 20s, and just snog them if I want. Well, not now, because we're in lockdown in the UK. It might be not for another year or two. I don't know, but it doesn't matter, does it? Because I can focus on my career in the meantime. But I think that's a lot more better for me to be able to go and do that and have my kissing needs met and have passion, romance, and everything. Theola, I think you did best. I know all sexual. Yeah, I just got sick of it. You know, it's draining my energy. I've had enough of it. You know, you need to quit something that's not good for you, don't you? So at the moment, I'm kind of quitting looking for a relationship. Quitting looking for a relationship for now. I think better focus on you. It's draining. Yeah, exactly. Well, I haven't been well, like, sometimes with my channel, like I'm doing shorter, Theola, me too, I quit. Oh, well done, Theola. Lots of love. Good for you. Yeah, I haven't been on chat as much because I have been poorly, like 2 days this week. I have been really pounding stomach pains, really poorly. Well, it's debilitating, but I still managed to actually record a short video for you, even though you wouldn't have known I was poorly, I doubt. But I was like on my bed doing that, so I really, you know, I had to wait for the tummy pains to die down. So, you know, I really feel that I need to use a lot more energy to focus on me and my career and my online, you know, my online presence, you know. There's nothing wrong with you, it's Sam. Thank you, Theola. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just sick of it, to be honest. I've had enough, and I just can't be doing with it anymore. I'm thinking I'm just wasting hours of my life here. Like, if a guy's interested in me, he can come and approach me. He can come into my life. I don't think he's going to come into my life at the moment anyway, because I think that I need to get my career sorted out in the next couple of years, you know, this year and next year. I think that's really got to be my main focus. Being a hyper romantic is difficult, but maybe if I spend less time in the dating relationship scene personally for me, then I will actually desensitize myself to so much romance and wanting a guy, and I'll be more focused on career. If I can get into focusing my energies more on my career, more on doing more YouTubing, doing more blogging and stuff like that, you know, and be more productive. But also, I got a lot of other stuff going on in my life, you know, and it's just getting too much, you know. And I just, Theola, it's just they look for sexual. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Theola. Oh, you had tummy pains, did you? I'm sorry to hear that. Well, with me, a lot of it's stress, and I thought with the Facebook dating, it's just adding to my stress. I had all the problems in the entrepreneur group where they were just, it felt so harassing at the end, and then obviously, the Facebook, and I'm just thinking, just quit, Sandra. You've tried to be. Oh, thank you, Viola. Lots of love. I know how you feel with your health, says Viola. Yeah, it's I need to focus on me, and I think I need to spend more time with me and less time thinking about guys and stuff. At the end of the day, if a guy's meant to be in my life, he can blooming well show up himself. I'm sick of pursuing that now at the moment for the foreseeable. I really hope that Fiola, yes, that's it. Thank you. Lots of love. I really hope that I put this energy into career and that I spend more time doing my passion, on this channel, and, grow my other channels as well, and doing more blogging and stuff here. Theola, same here. I'm sick of it too. I'm not chasing. Yeah, I think, I call it pursuing like a relationship and that, but I'm fed up with it now. At the end of the day, if a guy's out there for me, he'll show up. If he doesn't, that's fine. But I might not meet a guy for another 10 years yet. So I'm not going to keep wasting my time and energy and effort to pursue that when I don't think I'm in a financial position to actually probably have a sustainable, long, fulfilling relationship if the person doesn't live near me, and I think for me personally, I've got to put my time, energy and effort into me, and like growing me as a person more, and career. I do think a lot of it's got to be centered around career a lot more. Like, it's like I've got so many options. I'm like, what the hell am I doing, with like the blogging and the vlogging and all that type of stuff. I'm not chasing anymore. I've had enough of it. Like you say, Theo, it's not good. Women shouldn't chase anyway, but I think it's okay to actively pursue a relationship if it's making you happy. But now it's stopped making me happy now. So I've had enough of it. I think I've had enough upset and pain over it. I'm not associating it with a good feeling anymore. I'm associating with it. I need a break. I think I need to get myself sorted, and I feel that I've got loads of potential that I'm not fulfilling because I'm too busy faffing around trying to find a nice guy for me. At the end of the day, maybe I'm meant to be single. I do actually feel very empowered a lot of the time being single, like a solo artist of life. I feel a lot more confident as a single person. Maybe that's a course I could do years later. I already thought about that years ago, doing a course on how to be single and be happy, because I was more confident on my own. When I'm in a relationship, my confidence just usually goes down. It's very weird. It's not supposed to happen that way, but my confidence usually plummets a lot more, and I feel a lot more secure by myself than I do in a relationship usually. So maybe relationships just aren't for me. I think romance is probably for me to a certain extent, but that usually either involves yourself or someone else. But I think the problem with romance being a hyper romantic is it makes me feel like I want a guy all the time, whereas I've kind of got to change that. Theola, I feel hurt too. One guy said to me, "How I love you, you're sick, and you're." One guy said to me, "How I love you, you're sick, and you're just friends. You're older than me. I don't want a relationship with you. I'm still wounded, hurt in my soul. He brought my confidence down." That's horrible. That's horrible, Viola. There's loads of guys that like older women. Facebook dating is absolutely full of them, but they only like older women, usually, if you're going to have sex with them for a casual hookup, That's why they like older women a lot of the time on there. I think there's probably a couple of genuine people who do like older women for older women, but I think most of them just like the thrill of an older woman because they like the experienced woman. Oh yeah, there was a guy as well, an Indian guy who was in the entrepreneur dating group who I became connected to his friends. And I got so fed up with him. Like, he started talking about sexual stuff, about masturbation and coming, and basically with me involved in that, you know, like thinking of me. And I just like, why are you telling me this? I'm asexual. You know I'm asexual. And he's like, oh, sorry if I upset you. Then the next day he started doing it again. So I told him, this is not a high quality guy. This is not the type of guy I want to be connected to. So I said, I'm going to unfriend you. So I unfriended him. The next day he's going, oh, why are you still angry with me? He's like, oh, sorry, you still angry with me. I thought, you're not blimmin' sorry at all, because you just carried on ignoring the fact I was uncomfortable, you know? And then I saw him in the same group start posting about the fact, because he's like a porn addict and masturbation addict. And he was like writing in the group, the entrepreneur group, like, oh, I worried I've got an addiction. I'm doing this daily. And majority of them said that's fine. There's only one, I think, that said he needed therapy. Yet when I posted about being asexual, and I wasn't questioning my asexuality or asking for any advice on it, a number of them told me about therapy that I needed. Why is it okay for a guy to watch porn every day, masturbate every day, and, you know, which is clearly an addiction if you're doing it every single day? Clearly it's not healthy to do it every single day. And that's okay, it's normal. But when it comes to asexuality, and I don't want sex every day, because I never want sex every day, then it's not okay. And I need therapy. No, I don't. But thank you. You know, it's just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. Why did people think that watching porn and masturbating every single day is healthy? But not having sex isn't. I can't understand that. You know, addictions, whatever addiction it is, it's not good, and addiction's an addiction, you know? So, anyway, and then I saw him in that thread saying to this woman, oh, you're beautiful, I'd like to connect with you. And I thought, you know, I'm not having you on my friends list anymore. So I already deleted him, you know, I already removed him, unfriended him, but I thought I don't even want him you know, to be connected to me anymore, so I just blocked him. He was good from the point of view of helping me with a book. So I write books for asexuals, as you know, right? I love writing non-fiction books that change lives and specialise in asexuality, but I do know that the sexual market is a hot market, you know, for the people who want sex. And I don't know if I told you a while ago that I intended to try and write some books about sex, even though I'm personally sex repulsed. I mean, obviously I'm writing the Asexual Guide to Sex, but I was talking about for sexuals. And the reason is because I need to be able to have an income coming in to actually sustain, like, my websites for asexuals, carry on doing this channel, and carry on writing more books for asexuals. So I kind of need an income where lots of people are kind of crazy about something, you know, because my asexual market isn't huge, and I don't write books for that. I write books to help asexuals because I really want to change lives and change asexuality. In a sense of making it global sexual orientation rather than just known more within the LGBT community. I want to get recognised globally, but that means I need to get recognised amongst sexuals anyway. So I need to be talking the language of sexuals. So I have come up with a book idea a while ago that I started writing for sexuals, even though it makes me cringe. And like when this guy was basically talking to me, I was telling him that I was writing a book that would probably quite suit him, and I was trying to get ideas from him about what type of thing he was looking to put in, to have in there. But the trouble is, he just made me so sex repulsed. Like the erogenicity channel I started a while ago, and I haven't done any videos for ages because I just get too sex repulsed. I'm like, oh my god, why do I even want to help sexuals? What's the point? Because they get enough help and I don't like sex. But I do think that if I'm going to change if I'm going to change the world where asexuality is concerned, I have to get through to sexuals. So we stop having this frigging nonsense about, you know, everyone needing, wanting, liking sex. I need to change that ideology, you know, and trying to change conditioning, societal conditioning and ideology is not easy. You know, I mean, I don't need to change them as in the sense if they like sex, that's great. I don't want everyone to be the same as me, but change the ideologies in the sense that some people don't like sex and for them to accept that. But the only way I'm going to do that is actually speaking their language. So if I write books for sexuals about how to get more sex, one of the things I'll be putting in it It's about, don't get with someone who actually doesn't want it, doesn't need it, and doesn't like it. And yes, there really are people out there like that. They're called asexuals. This is how I'm going to introduce asexuality into a sexual book. Now, of course, I'm nervous. I start writing it and then I'm thinking, what's the point? Because I don't like sex and I don't like helping sexuals because they get enough help. But then a lot of the time they're getting rubbish help anyway by people who don't even know what they're talking about, or people that crap at themselves at doing relationships, or crap at sex. Like, I have actually had good sex in the past. 4 guys were bad at it. 1 guy was good at it. So I have got quite a lot of experience, you know. Theola, yeah, it is disgusting that guy was talking about masturbation, including me. If I had a partner and they were masturbating, a partner that I'd known a long time, then I would prefer they did that over me than another woman, for example, just because I kind of like loyalty like that. But having a stranger do that I don't know and saying that just really makes me feel absolutely sick and disgusting, you know. I think it's very different if you've been in a relationship a long time and your partner does want to share anything like that. But even so, you know, for an asexual person, you know, it's not necessary, is it, for your partner to keep saying, oh, I'm doing that, because it just makes you feel sick. Yes, you're loyal. Bless you, you know. You know, and, you know, so if a guy was going to be, like, doing self-pleasuring and wanting to think of someone, and I was in a relationship with him and thinking about me, then I would think, well, that's nice, he's thinking about me rather than another woman. But it's a very big difference between that, someone you know and love and trust and care about and who actually cares and loves and trusts you, than a stranger who's just being disgusting. And it's like, to me, that's just vile and hideous and gross, you know. But the only good thing is I did get out of him what I need to put in the book because I believe everything happens for a reason. And so I know now what the title, I already knew the title of book for sexuals, but I know for sexual guys, actually, particularly this one is, I already knew the main title, but the subtitle I hadn't really quite understood a catchy subtitle, but now I've got the subtitle from him, really. So I used him for a bit of research. So I'm like, do you know what I mean? So, you know, like, I might go back on dating sites and be more active and stuff, because I might need to do it for research for more books in the future. And I don't know what it's going to be like if I publish a book for sexuals. A part of me thinks, you know, I don't want to betray asexuals. I don't want to help people who disgust me overall with the sexual stuff going on. But then I'm not going to be able to help asexuality as much as if I was actually helping sexuals to help asexuals. Because in LGBT plus community, lots of people have heard of asexuality. Some people who aren't asexual, or aren't even in LGBT plus community, they still know about asexuality. But a lot of heterosexuals, for example, they don't. They still haven't got a frigging clue. The percentage, there was a few people, like I said, in the entrepreneur group, they weren't all bad. There was one woman whose daughter identified as asexual for several years. She was really happy with my post. There's one guy who thought he'd probably been in a relationship with an asexual in the past, and if he'd known at the time, it would have been helpful. But because of the way I described it, it suggests there's obviously a lot of shame, you know, like people being worried about it, you know. Theola, someone left me after 7 years, but he deceived me because he said together forever. He left me because I wasn't well, I think, and I couldn't get out, so he's gone with another woman who satisfies him sexually. But oh, that's disgusting. I'm sorry, Theola. Yeah, that's the trouble. A lot of them say they'll be together forever and everything, but he did you a favour if he's a deceiver and a liar like that. Do you know what I mean? I loved him, gave my heart to him, but he was so gentle, loving. Yeah, it's really difficult, Fiona. You know, I've given my heart to guys in the past. I've given pretty much too much to them in the past. You know, I've got boundaries and everything now. KD, hello. I just wanted to say have a nice day. Oh, KD, is that how you pronounce your name? Thank you so much. Lots of love. I haven't been to sleep yet. It's so 6:55 a.m. I've had a busy night doing stuff. That's why I got a bit tired. But yes, thank you so much, Katie, lots of love to you. Nice of you to pop in. I thought it'd be interesting for me to do a stream at this time in the morning because I don't usually do one. Oh, Cade, it's Cade, is it? Okay. I think I've pronounced that right now. Cade, is that right? Theola, he never shouted at me, always forgive him, but he wasn't true in his heart towards me. Oh, bless you, Theola. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Cade's right. I'll try and remember that for next time. I'm not always good at remembering name pronunciations, or sometimes I'm not good at remembering names. My mind mixes people's names up. But yeah, as soon as it says it there, hopefully I'll remember. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Theola. That's a long time to be with someone, 7 years. I've been with a guy nearly 7 years and another guy 8.5 in total. So I was in 2 long-term relationships in the past, but the first long-term relationship, he went off with a woman with a kid, presumably because I wasn't having sex with him. I can't remember. I can't really remember the sex with him. It must have been that long ago in the beginning. Theola, yes, long time. I was shocked. I'm still grieving. Yeah, if you're still grieving, it's best not to be out in the dating and relationship scene, really, because it's, you know, it's gonna make you more vulnerable to being hurt with guys. I've gotten over my ex a lot because I mean, I talk about him on this channel, the guy, long-term ex guy for 8.5 years. In total, I've got over him a lot. You know, like, I don't have feelings for the guy anymore. But it's very strange because obviously I'm writing the Asexual Guide to Sex book, which I'm going to be working on this weekend to get it finished. There's people that really want this book, and it's very delicate, intricate book. There's a lot of stuff I've got to still do for it, for my part of the book, which is substantial amount, you know. And it's very weird because I'm having to remember, because I'm an asexual, had sex in the past, haven't had it for 9 years, thank God, don't want it again. But I have to remember what I liked about sex at the time, you know, what I thought was okay. Because obviously with the book, thanks for the thumbs up. Yes, long time, I was shocked. K, jikes, not everyone wants nasty stuff, yet some people don't respect it. Theodore, but why don't he feel sane grieving? He's moved on with no feelings or even grieving. Well, I don't know how long ago you split up with him, but obviously, you know, like, I split up. I took 18 months to 2 years. 2 years it took me to fully get over my ex. I've been with 8.5 years, you know, and everyone needs to move on. You saw him 2017, yeah. Exactly, Theola. That would be quite natural for him to be able to move on, because obviously, if he's with someone else now, he's going to have feelings for them. You know, people a lot of the time do move on. Only tends to be Indian guys that don't actually. Cade, Theola, I'm sorry about that. It must have been hard. I hope you're doing better now. Says Cade. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, if you're still grieving and it's been 2017. 2000 when you came back after 3 years separation. Yeah, well, maybe you're thinking he'll still come back, but he won't. And if he did, it's best not to be with him ever again. No one should be with an ex like that, right? Once they're gone from your life, it's for a reason. You don't have them back. You know, you just be happy that they've left your life, and you need to work through the grief so it's out of you completely. Because, you know, like, holding on to feelings for this guy is doing you no good. It's hurting you. You know, I would think most people would usually be over an ex in 18 months to 2 years, but some people are still not over their exes. Like, I know, like I said, quite a lot of Indian guys, they are still in love with the person that they were loved with first at school. And so not everyone's the same, you know. People take different amounts of time. Theola. Sorry, because he wanted anal sex. I felt not good enough. Yes, it's hurting me. He wanted anal sex. My ex tried that once with his tip. I'm like, what? He put his tip at my bum hole, and I'm like, what are you doing? No. That was it. He never put it in, obviously. I'm like, and I was still good enough for him. More than good enough, too good for him, actually. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not about not being good enough. It's about the fact he wants something that you don't have to give him because it's not what you want. So therefore, he wasn't compatible for you. And so I don't do that stuff. I'm not like that, like Paul. No, I don't do that stuff either. For me personally, I'm only attracted to guys anyway. And for me, the bum hole is something I use to go to the toilet. It's not something I'd ever use for intercourse. The whole idea just personally disgusts me. Obviously, I know gay guys who are gay use the bum. And I know women put strap-ons on to have sex, but it's just like, but that's usually using their front bit, I'm guessing. But some women and guys, like some guys do that with women, and some women don't mind it, but I don't want that. I would never do that. Cade, I've never experienced that stuff because I'm a minor, but I just don't like it. Oh, bless you, Cade. I don't watch porn. I've never intentionally ever seen porn. There's been stuff come on my feed, like in Twitter sometimes, there's clearly pornographic photographs that come on my feed, and I'm like, oh God, most of the time I just have to block it. And people seem to think, some people on Twitter seem to think Asexualise, my brand, my asexual brand, means I'm highly sexual and want sex. Sorry to tell you, sex is love, intimacy, sharing your soul, one's not just. Sorry to tell you, sex is love, intimacy, sharing your soul, one's not just sex. Me neither. Whenever something pops up, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, you look really ill in that picture. What did you say, Fiona? Sorry to tell you, sex is love. I don't agree that sex is love. I think sex can be one form of expression of love that some people like to do and others don't. But I don't think sex is love. It's a completely different thing. You can love someone without sex. You can love someone without doing any sex stuff. I'm not sure if that's what you meant to say, but yeah, sex is not love. It's two completely different things. Just a lot of them put the two together. Obviously, I mean sharing your soul, oneness, not just sex. Okay. Intimacy, sharing your soul, one's not just sex. Right, okay. Cage, yes, I wish more people understood that. Thank you. Yeah, I just, like this guy I spoke about on Facebook dating, the last message I read out was like, like without sex there is no love, and it's just like ridiculous. Of course there is. They don't show feelings, says Theola. It's just, I used to have sex in the past. I used to not mind it with my last long-term ex because he was good at that. But why I say he was good at that is because he did lots of other things rather than just the intercourse. So it was the other things I liked a lot more than the intercourse. But because I'd done the other things with him, he'd done the other things with me, the intercourse was kind of like more, how can I put it, comfortable? Okay. Not bad. Good in terms of, I guess, whatever that is, but I still don't understand orgasm. I don't get it. It's like, whatever, and I'd rather have not had it, but it was consensual then. But for the Asexual Guide to Sex, but I'm writing to help asexuals who are thinking about doing that. Not they should, but I know some asexuals are already thinking about doing it, or some asexuals are already in relationships and they're like very stuck as to what to do. Which is why the book got started in the first place, because an aromantic asexual asked me if they wanted to have sex, what would they do with that? How would they go about it? And I was a bit shocked, but now I've got over the shock because I've been working on this book since June 2019. So it's over a year and a half now, so I'm eager to get it finished. But it's a very delicate topic, and obviously I'm having to think back honestly to how it was for me sex at the time, and I wasn't minding doing that at the time. I wasn't sex repulsed like I am now. I was probably sex neutral with that particular person and didn't mind doing it as long as I didn't have to do it too much. And I thought if I had to have chosen to just do it less, it would probably be once every 3 months. Do you know what I mean? Cade, I just feel like if I had a significant other, I'd want them to treat me as a friend, not an object. Yes, Cade, that's not it, not a sex object. Yeah, the guy that I was telling you about, I don't know if Cade, you came in the middle of the conversation, then maybe, is I told you this guy, which I've blocked on Facebook since. He was talking about masturbating and then started talking about me that he'd been thinking of. And then, you know, I told him, I said, you know, like, I'm not a sex object. You're basically, your feelings are just sexual and treating me like a sex object. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm thinking, clearly you are, because that's the only reason why you're really talking to me. Yeah, it's kind of yucky. That's what I was saying earlier on this stream, you know. I said if I was in a relationship with a sexual person and I loved them, they loved me, and it's serious, committed, and I'd known them a long time, and they happened to say that they were doing that over me, not all the time telling me that, because I don't need to know that all the time, but if they were telling me, like, because, you know, I'd rather them do that over me than other women, for example, but a stranger telling me this particularly is disgusting. Not only, I don't know if I'd even be comfortable if a partner was telling me a lot of the time. If they told me occasionally they were thinking about me, maybe I wouldn't mind if it was to do, if I was thinking they loved me and all the rest of it, and, you know, I trusted them, and I'd known them for a long time, and I was friends with them and everything, and, you know, because I'd be so used to just being with them and trusting them and knowing them as a friend and a person. But this guy didn't even know me, and he's talking like this, and then he knew that I was asexual, though, and I was bothered about it, and just kept on saying stuff, you know. It's just like, and then say, oh, sorry if you felt bad about it, and that's a very, very bad thing to do. You don't do something knowing someone doesn't like it or uncomfortable, and then carry on doing it again and say, oh, and then a third time they go, oh, I can't promise. No, second time they said, I won't do that again. And then the next day they're like, oh, but I can't guarantee I won't do that again. I thought, you're just an idiot. Real idiot. I can't be. I told him, I said, I'm going to disconnect with you as a friend, because I can't be connected to a guy like this. Cade, I agree with you on that. I've been messaged by some guys saying similar things. Oh, it's still being carrying committed relationship with a sexual person. I really don't want sex ever again. But if they happen to say stuff like that about me occasionally, then I wouldn't, you know, mind so much, because I know them and I know who they are and I know they're thinking about me, you know, and I expect that they're, you know, they're not going to, if I got with a heterosexual, that's not going to stop them being heterosexual just because they're in a relationship with me. They're still going to be doing that type of thing. I would rather not have someone who watches porn, though, because I can't stand that. It makes me feel sick. Cade does block them. Yeah, so, they're ahead of the ball, aren't you, Cade? I shouldn't have said that because it sounds too sexual, but it's just... Actually, it's quite funny when I think about it in an asexual way. On the ball, sorry. I can have some rude humour sometimes, but I didn't actually intentionally mean to be rude humour, but yeah. So, yeah, it's just disappointing, you know, that so many people are sexual orientated, and I haven't met the right asexual guy for me yet, and I've been looking for him since 2014, and it's like next month, March, which we're nearly in soon, will be exactly 7 years since I've been on asexual dating. Oh no, that's when I found out I was asexual. I don't know if it's April or a bit later when I joined asexual dating sites, but it's been nearly 7 years now, basically. So, you know, I just like, you know, that's why I've given up on Facebook dating now. I think, you know, like, have a break from dating for a while. Cade, I wish you luck. It's hard to find the right person. Thank you. But 3 of my asexual friends have found their partner. Well, I found my best asexual friend. I found their partner for them on Asexuality. I introduced them. They're super happy, super in love, both of them, with each other. making plans for the future, seeing each other lots, very happy together, more and more in love all the time. They've been together 5 months, I think it is now. My best friend Sam had to wait about 8 years to find them, and I found them. They kept saying to me, "Get me a partner, Sandra." I don't do this as a free service, right? But because they were my best friend, I kept saying, "Yes, yes, I'll find you a partner." And so I actually did find them a partner. Can't find myself one, but I found my best friend one. And then my friend John, they are married, asexual friend John. They're married to their asexual wife, Catherine. Lovely couple, soulmates there as well. And shout out to Ralph, who watches this channel. He has been with his asexual fiance now. He's asexual. He's been with his asexual fiance now for nearly 3 years. And they've got age gap love, those two. So, yeah, so there's quite a big difference in age. So, Ralph likes younger girls. I like younger guys. So, yeah, all those three are really happy. They found their soulmates for life. I wish you meet the one for you soon. Thank you, Fiola. I'm just quitting dating for now, though. Like, in theory, I'm still going to be on asexual dating groups. I'm still, I'm not leaving them, but I just am fed up now of searching for the person. I'm going to use my time more productively because I just think I'm spending too much time, and I think I need to focus on my career more this year and next year. But don't forget, I am a hyper romantic, so it could all change next week. This is I've quit Facebook dating for now. That's a start. I don't want to push myself to do something and push myself the other way to crave it again. But at the moment, I'm so fed up with Facebook dating that I've stopped. I've put the take a break thing on there because that means that if I do want to reactivate it, I don't have to restart my whole profile over again and put other pictures on there and go over everything again. Because I don't want to be doing that. It's just waste time, But like I said, if you listen to the show earlier, this show particularly, I kept getting the same people come up. If there's thousands of people on Facebook, then I should be getting different guys, not the same. Yashita, you find someone when you're not looking sometimes. Yeah. Lots of people have said that to me, but every time that's happened to me, they've ended up being absolute bad guys for me. So that's why I was pursuing and looking, because I want to get a guy that's good for me, not have someone turn up on my doorstep or say I'm here and they end up being bad for me, because that's actually been the story of my life, that guys have usually come into my life. I thought, oh, this sounds like the one, and it's like, no. I've only had more success when I've actually gone out actively pursuing myself and looking for it, So that's why for me, and I think if you are not proactive, you're less likely to get somewhere, right? But I just think at the moment in time, I don't know how long for, because I am a hyper romantic. And so I was feeling really good earlier on about, I'm still feeling good about quitting Facebook dating, but I was thinking, I'm quitting dating really for now, but I'm still in groups and stuff. But then when I started to say quitting dating, as in a blanket statement, then I was starting to feel sad. And, dating relationships is a huge part of my life. So I might decide to go back to it, or I might just keep it off for a while. But I just feel I've got other stuff I need to be focusing on. And I can't be doing it if I'm taking too many hours doing that at the moment. Cade, as an MB person, it's even harder for me to find someone. Oh, bless you. Oh. Yashita. I had bad relationships too in the past, but then I started living for myself and found a great one I can love. He has changed a lot of my views. I am still not sure about putting my asexuality at stake. Ah, right, okay. So they don't know about your asexuality. Yashita, because he is heterosexual, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, you see, I always tell someone up front I'm asexual. I would never, ever keep that from a guy. I'm only interested in guys because I don't believe it's fair on them. And I know most guys will not stay if I tell them I'm asexual, but it's better for me to do that and not get attached to them and them attached to me than it is down the line. Because I'm a sex repulsed asexual. If there's an asexual that's not sex repulsed, it's not such a big deal. but I still think it's fairer to yourself and to the other person, because otherwise you're living a lie, because you're living a secret life, if you know what I mean. In my opinion, this is my opinion. There are other people that will disagree and will be like you and won't say anything about their asexuality. So this is just my personal opinion, because I believe in being true, authentic self. Like, I will always be true, authentic me to the day I die. And if I don't get into a relationship, so be it. Ishita, he does know, but I remain confused because I sometimes think it's mainly fear of sex, but I have kept it clear that it will be a choice. Right, okay. So he does know. Oh, well, that's good then. That's good. Yeah, I mean, sometimes some people do have a fear of sex, which is not the same as asexuality. You know, asexuality is a genuine sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. Some heterosexuals are actually penetration repulsed, yet they're still heterosexual. So, you know, there's a lot of confusion. But so, for example, with me, if I look back at my life before I knew I was asexual, I'm very clear that I've always been asexual but didn't realise it. So I had my first heterosexual boyfriend at 6 years old, and I liked kissing him passionately at 6. Yes, 6 years old. But I didn't like any sexual touching, which he wanted to do, and I was so uncomfortable and hated it and didn't like any of that, and it was disgusting to me. And when I spoke to a counsellor about it, they were, well, it's just doctors and nurses. That is normal for that age group. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't understand why you're upset, because I was in tears about that, because I felt invaded years later and like it was wrong. And so, you know, and then throughout my school years, I never ever looked at a guy and thought I want sex with them. I used to think about romance and kissing and holding hands, but I would never think about sex. It never entered my head. And then when I've told, you know, in my Asexual Perspectives book, I don't know if you've got this book, but in my Asexual Perspectives book, the link is down below, I do talk about the time when I was 15, and the guy like opened a drawer with a condom in it. And I didn't associate that with me. He's my boyfriend at the time. I'm just like, oh, that's nice. As in, I thought it was just an object he liked to have. I didn't associate it with me or the fact he was going to think about having sex with me. That doesn't enter my head, you know? And like similarly, when I was even in a heterosexual relationship with my long-term ex, the last long-term ex I ever had of 8.5 years in total, I bought him because I didn't like him looking at other naked women. It's a pet peeve of mine. I absolutely hate it. If I'm in a relationship with a guy, I think he should only be looking at my naked body, no one else's. And back then, I did share my naked body with him. These days, I'm sex repulsed and don't like sharing my naked body with anyone but myself. But anyway, and so he was in this bookstore with me, and he was looking at pictures, like real life pictures of men and women having sex. And so because I wasn't happy that, but I knew he liked that type of book, I bought him a pocket book with little cartoon pictures in it. It was like different sexual positions. And I never ever thought he would use it on me, or it would be anything associated with me. I just thought it was a nice book for him to look at and read, because he's interested in that type of thing. And so he kept it in a wardrobe, in his top shelf in his wardrobe. I could see it, and I didn't think anything of it, apart from, oh, it's a nice place to put it, I guess. Handy. And then he started trying all these sexual positions on me, which I just used to let him get on with. And he's like, oh, this is that position, that's that position. I didn't even have a bloody clue, excuse my language, what he's talking about half the time. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we're trying this position now. I just let him get on with it, because I wasn't interested in the sex. But I was sex neutral, I would say, back then. I was trying to work out, because I'm doing my Asexual Guide to Sex book, like, what actually was I? Was I sex positive? Was I sex neutral? And because I'm sex repulsed nowadays, for me, it's kind of hard to try and assess myself. But I would say I was probably sex neutral back then, but didn't really like it. But with him, I was okay to do that, you know? And so, yeah, it's really weird. And so I you know, I never associate things like that with myself, because I don't think about me having sex with guys. I don't look at a guy and ever think I want sex with you. But I do look at guys and think I want to snog your face off. Mostly foreign guys these days. Cade, I wouldn't want to do it before marriage ever if I wasn't ace. Yeah, like I have never been married, and I'm glad that I've never been married. I've been engaged, but never been married. And I personally, this is just me, I've done a video on this before, but it's very controversial because obviously lots of people are religious and they won't have sex before marriage for religious reasons. So I do appreciate everyone's got a completely different point of view, and many people disagree with me on this, but I personally would not be in a relationship with someone and marry them and then have sex. I would always have sex before, because if you are not sexually compatible with that person and you marry them, you're stuck with them for life, right? So even if you're not that into sex, you still need to be sexually compatible. If you get married and then they expect sex every day, because a lot of the time when people get married, they change. They're like, well, you're mine now, which they don't own you. You've got to remember that your body's your own. You still don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And sexual compatibility. Like in my Asexual Guide sex book, I'm very explicit in there, and I talk penis size. Right? If you've got the wrong size penis for you, it's not good. It really isn't. Believe me, I've got experience of this, right? Because I'm talking from a practical point of view, educational, not as in a disgusting point of view. Right? Too small, it isn't really worth it. Too big or fat, as the case that I experienced, hurts like hell. My last long-term ex was medium, so it's the right size, I'm talking about this in practical terms because I'm not bothered about the sex. I don't need sex. I don't like it. But I did that with him. It was consensual. And so, it kind of like, but I personally would never have marriage without having, if I was going to have sex, I'd try it before I got married in case we're not sexually compatible. Like if a guy wants it multiple times, or a guy, like Viola said earlier, her ex liked anal sex. If you get into a marriage and you hate anal sex and the guy wants that, what the hell are you going to do then? You're going to be tied into a contract with that person. Kate says, oh, that is true. I'm being thoughtful here, right? I like the idea of marriage from a romantic point of view. I think, together forever, secure relationship, happiness, but it doesn't work out like that for a lot of people. My parents have been married, I think it's 52 years this year. So my parents have been happily married for years. They're one of the very few couples I know that's been married a lot of years and actually stayed married, right? So I'm very blessed in that way. But a lot of people are not sexually compatible, and they don't find that out until after marriage, or they get married and the person expects stuff of them because they're married and they're tied into a contract. I personally don't ever want to get married these days because I don't want to be tied into a contract. I've seen so many guys change years later in relationships. I just don't want that. I do not want to be personally tied into a contract with a guy. If he cheats on me and I've got to wait for years to get a divorce, my exes said they wouldn't leave me, but they've had affairs. Nearly every guy I've been with cheated on me because I'm not interested in sex at the end of the day, and they clearly are. Even if they can live without it, without it for years, they end up seeing someone else and doing that. So most of the time, I try not to be with heterosexuals. As unless there was a heterosexual who genuinely was not into sex, maybe kissing was his thing, because I'm really into kissing, then maybe it would work out. But on the whole, I really need an asexual guy. But a lot of the time with my kissing needs, asexual guys are not interested in that. It's too much for them. So I'm kind of a bit stuck. But I just really, I'm on lockdown in the UK. I'm really miss clubbing. When I go clubbing, I made a conscious decision a couple of years ago to be able to kiss a guy outside of a relationship, so that I go and kiss guys in my local club, usually young, hot. When I say hot, I mean aesthetically beautiful foreign guys. And, the age group I like, early to mid-20s. And I go home afterwards in a taxi. They go home. I don't see them again usually. But that actually is really good for me because it's like I get my kissing needs met. I don't have to be tied down to a guy who expects sex with me. I don't give him sex. I still get my kisses that I like. And so far, that's worked out really well for me. And I do miss that. I miss not being able to. I miss the freedom of not being able to dance in that club. Because the club, it's just, the whole atmosphere is amazing. Even through all these times of the virus situation, I keep thinking of the feeling of me being there of me jumping up and down like a crazy girl, of me like, you know, being at what, like when you're in the club I'm in, right? It's foreign music, foreign beats, and I love being around foreign guys, but they're not all foreign guys there, right? And the atmosphere is just so electric and so like you feel like you're in a movie. And I was trying to analyze myself the other day as why do I like this? Why do I like this so much? It's because I love all the dance movies, because I love dance. I got bronze and freestyle disco dancing. In case you didn't know, I used to take dance lessons. I got highly commended. So I absolutely love dancing. It's very good for my body. And, you know, everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet usually there. They're all out to have a good time. They're all out to enjoy dancing. They, you know, like it's high octane energy, and it's just the music I love over and over again. It makes me feel so good, and I feel in my body, in my spirit, in my soul, that's where I'm meant to be. I'm really young, as you know, and I just come alive. And throughout all this virus situation, I can always picture and feel like the emotion that I feel when I'm there, because when I'm there, like time kind of stands still for a bit. It's like I'm there, but I'm actually thinking consciously, wow, the atmosphere, I'm feeling it in my soul and my body. And it's like I'm alive, you know? And it's very, very beautiful, you know? Yashita, my ex tried to push me too far in past, but that wasn't the right age and time, although I like being close. Then I started hating it, or thinking everyone will be a bad touch. Yeah, I mean, I've had stuff done to me. Like, I had sexual abuse at 15. If you read my Asexual Perspectives book, I talk about it in there. But I had my sex after that. All my sexual relationships after that. So sex didn't put me off. If I wanted sex, I'd do it again, despite the fact I'm asexual. But I don't want it. I can't see me ever changing on that. If I did, I give myself permission to change my mind if I want to change it, but I don't want to change it. At the moment, I'm very sex repulsed, and usually the more sexuals that come my way, the more my sex repulsion gets ignited again, more and more. So it's kind of really difficult. Yashita. But as I am getting closer to my now boyfriend, I'm wanting a little bit more of intimacy, but still I don't know if I want to go that far anytime in future or after marriage, if it's ever going to happen ever. There's time though. Yeah, I think the best thing to do, I think you've already done it, is to be clear with him on that, say that you might not ever want sex, and could he be with that, okay with that for life, you know, because a lot of the time they're waiting in the hope that you will decide to do that with them. So I think you need to know if they could live without sex forever, if you want a monogamous relationship. Because a lot of the guys, even that I spoke to on Facebook dating, they're like, oh, I don't want sex now. And it was the now that was the thing. And I'm like, so you probably want it in the future? Well, yes. And so now it's not the same as forever, you know, and so you have to make sure you're compatible, as in you both want the same thing. If you both want a long-term relationship, you both want marriage, can that person live with sex without sex after marriage, or do they expect you to have sex in marriage? Because a lot of people, they just don't have sex because of their religion until marriage. So the fact that an asexual's come along, they're like, oh, this is great, I can still be intimate or close to a person, and you know, maybe doing kissing and other stuff with them, but I don't have to have sex, which is great because it ties in with my religion, and I'm not allowed that anyway. Maybe in my culture I'm not allowed it as well before marriage, but after marriage it's a completely different thing, you know. And you have to be aware of this. Like, a lot of the time marriage is idolized as this wonderful thing, but there's a lot of people that don't pull off the wonderful thing. There's a lot of hardships and pain as well. Some people love marriage. Like I said, my parents have been married 52 years, but they still have to work at that, you know. And you know, but my dad and mum have a very traditional relationship. My dad is like a working guy. My mum, even though he's retired, he's got a non-profit. My mum is a housewife person. they're the opposite to me. I couldn't stand that type of relationship personally, because I will not be a housewife to a guy. I don't like cooking, don't like cleaning, not interested in doing that for a guy at all. If a guy wants to cook for me, that's up to him. But I don't want to be doing that for him usually, you know? If a guy was poorly, if I had a boyfriend and he was poorly, you know, that'd be a bit different. I might do some stuff to help him for a week or something while he was ill, but that's it. And if he started doing it on purpose, pretending to be ill, I wouldn't be up for that. But yeah, so I don't want to live with a guy again. I like him to live around the corner from me. I don't want to live with a guy. I really love having my own place. I don't like sharing household bills. I've lived that type of life before because I was engaged in the past. I've lived with a guy in the past, more than one guy in the past. It just doesn't work out for me. I love my life now. I wasn't years ago. I was like an old person. Now I'm older in birth certificate age. I'm younger. I'm a lot younger. And I crave like young environments. I love being with young guys. I am really young. Like my soul's completely young. Like my birth certificate age is just a joke to me these days. There's nothing like who I am. I don't like talking about it. I'm not interested in it. But when I was younger in birth certificate age, I was a lot older. My soul was so old. You know, it was like an old woman's. So I've kind of gone backwards in time. But I remember, you know, when I look at those relationships back then, just doing a 9-to-5 job and coming home watching TV, it wasn't fulfilling for me. Having a normal relationship just wasn't fulfilling. I just wasted so many years of my life. Really. I mean, I didn't waste it in the sense I still learnt stuff. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be on this channel able to help you unless I'd had all those experiences. So it wasn't a waste of time from that point of view. But it's just like, it wasn't who I really am, you know. I guess I still am in search of the full version of me. But I'm much more, you know, myself now than I've ever been in my life, you know. I find it difficult though because I'm so myself sometimes that it's hard. Like if I have to go to a day job, it's like this isn't really me. It's not who I am anymore. I've changed so much. Now I like being on YouTube. I like doing this type of thing. Obviously this is free. It's very different to actually having a paid job. I'm digressing loads here, but I'm trying to say that I realised marriage wasn't for me, but I like the romance of it. Thanks. Thumbs up, you know. And I think that's the thing, sometimes we can idolize the ideal of it, but it's not always the case. But like I said, my parents have been married for like I think 52 years this year, and they're still happily married. They still love each other. They still work well together. So it works for some people. They're not asexual, neither of them. I'll just point that out. You know, and so yeah, it can work for some people. I just, you know, personally for me, I'm not interested in that anymore. And I just think, you know, like when I was analysing, like, why do I like I said, why do I like to go to clubs and kiss these foreign guys and stuff? And just because it's just like at the movies to me. It's like I'm bringing a movie to actual real life. And that feels great because I like watching all the step-up movies. They're my favourite movies, a lot of them. The dance movies where there's always a romance and they're kissing the guy on the dance floor at the end. That's just bliss for me. And it's like, I don't personally talk about fantasizing because it's not something I do. If I see something, I just want to bring it straight to reality, not for it to be a fantasy. You know, it's like, so if I'm in a club and I'm kissing a guy, it's just like out of a movie. Of course, I'm not actually going off with the guy in the end completely, but then in the movies you don't see that. You don't see what happens after they kiss at the end. You don't see where they carry on the relationship or not. So for me, it's kind of like it's a movie in real life. It's just amazing, and I've learnt to detach from these guys now, which I couldn't do before. So far, there's one guy that was difficult to detach from. He was no good for me. But yeah, as a general rule now, I can go to clubs, kiss guys, go home, and that's it. And I just think I had a good time in the moment. And that is really freeing for me. I've kind of like really liked that a lot. When I first went back there, because I hadn't been there for a number of years before I went back there. When I first went back there, I had the expectation that I was going to meet someone for a relationship, that I should exchange phone numbers and stuff like that. But I've since learned this is not the way to go there. These people want sex. If there happens to be a guy that can live without sex and you happen to meet him there, all good and well, but I can't see it ever happening. There's a tiny, teeny, tiny, weeny chance it might happen. But, you know, that's up to them if they want to ask for your number. But if they're wanting sex or anything sexual, it's no good. Just say there's no point. But usually those guys don't want to take your phone number. They literally want sex, and you say no, and they don't want to carry on pursuing you after that because they know they're not going to get the sex if you mean business like I do. So it's very, very interesting, you know, because there's a lot of asexuals can't even do that. I couldn't do that years ago, but I've got very strong boundaries now. I think that's why I'm a lot more comfortable doing that, because I'm like, you don't touch my breasts, basically. Don't touch my private parts. Don't, you know, don't put your hands fully on my bum. You know, there's certain places I just don't let them touch. And I think that gives me a lot more protection. Where I go in my club as well, there's security guards and I know the place very well. So I don't feel scared there. I feel very secure there a lot of the time. There's been a few moments. There's been one guy that I end up my knee hurt on a metal table, because he was just boisterous and pushed into me, and where I ended up with my knee in the table, and that wasn't good because I've still got on my knees, on my legs, there's one side has got a lump raised, but it doesn't hurt at the moment. It hasn't hurt for all that time, but it's raised. You can see it. So I don't know what he did. And then there's been two guys that were actually, because the place I go is LGBT plus friendly. Well, certainly LGBT friendly. Well, so basically there's lesbians and gays. So I really like that from that point of view as well. I think it's nice, but they have got a lot of heterosexuals there as well. So it's like anything goes in that respect, you know, like you can be free to be who you want to be and no one gets funny about it, which I think is really positive. But there was two gay guys, you know, there was two guys kissing, and the guy was putting the other guy up against the wall and it was a bit like they were having sex on the floor or something with the movements, but with him, one guy acting in the woman's part, is a bit weird. But anyway, the problem was he was pushing the guy, and you know, and it was a bit uncomfortable to say the least, because the guy was drunk, and so I thought he was taking advantage. I feel at one with my soul. I feel so happy there, and yeah, I just really like it. So it's something I like to do more of. And I just think that's probably the solution for the foreseeable future for me, like, is to, like, obviously I can't do that for 1 or 2 years, however long the lockdown happens, or social distancing goes on for, but I just think at the moment that's probably the best solution if I'm not in a relationship. Most asexual guys don't seem to be interested in kissing like I do. Haven't found the right asexual guys, so going to a club, dancing, having a great time, and just kissing guys is probably the best thing for me to do. So I can pick and choose what guys I kiss, who want to kiss me, obviously. And if I don't kiss anyone, I don't need to, because I do actually like dancing and going there for the music and the dancing, you know. So I think, like, when I was on Facebook dating, when the guy, like, was saying, oh, I don't like intercourse, but I like everything else, and he was like, oh, you're never gonna get a guy like who doesn't like touching the body. Every guy's like that. I'm like, well, I can go to my local club, kiss young hot foreign guys, and don't have to have a guy touching me on my body, and don't have to have sex. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I was thinking to myself, why not just do that, Sandra? Seems like, you know, it's a good solution for you, because you're getting your needs met. The guy in the club's getting his kissing needs met, even if he ain't getting sex needs met. And so, you know, like, it kind of works out well, really. But yeah, so it's very interesting. But I hate it when people are like, oh no, you can never get that. It's like, well, I know I do have asexual friends. It's just none of them are suitable for a relationship with me, because I like mad, passionate kissing with my clothes on. Without the sex, it's kind of hard to find a guy like that. Most sexual guys like the mad, passionate kissing, but they expect the sex. So, you know, it's all about laying down boundaries, expectations from the beginning, really. Anyway, I'm going to conclude today's stream for now. I'm going to love you and leave you for now. I want to say thank you so much for everyone being in chat. Thank you to Fiola, Yashita, and also Kate. And I really appreciate you being here today, this morning, because it's 07:41. I don't think I've ever streamed this specific time in the morning. considering I've not been to sleep yet. And I wish you a very good day. I'm going to be working on my Asexual Guide to Sex book after I've had a sleep, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, I'm really trying to get it finished, but it's a delicate situation of things to talk about, you know? There's a lot of stuff in it, and sometimes I have to have a break because I'm personally sex repulsed, and sometimes I'm like, I've got to have a break now. Or I can only do a page at a time sometimes with certain topics because it gets a bit much, you know? So I have to do a little bit of research sometimes because obviously I've got a lot of experience with heterosexual relationships, but there's still some stuff I don't know. And then if I do some research, it's like I have to see things I don't really want to see and read things I don't really want to read, but I have to for the book, you know, because it's important that knowledge is power and knowledge is safety. And if I can help more asexuals feel safer in sexual situations, it's going to be a great, fantastic read. Really good. Oh, Rob, I was just about to go to sleep. Good morning, get some sleep. Oh, lots of love to Rob. Rob's lovely. I like Rob. Yes, thank you. Get some sleep. Yeah, I haven't been to sleep. I've been a high octane energy, listening to music and doing some stuff. I had some stuff to do, which took me quite a few hours, which why I wasn't on here before midnight. And I thought, I've got to go and stream because my audience needs to speak to me. And it's been a while. And I was in pain this week for a couple of days. So that meant I couldn't do much. So I've been really happy to be able to talk to you on here. And I didn't know you were watching. It's always nice to hear from you. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to go now. Anyway, because I want to work on my book a bit later. I'm really excited. I've cleared the rest of the weekend to be free for my book. So yes, and I've done my stream now, which means I'll have sleep, and then you won't hear from me again today because I'll be doing the book. So actually, it's probably worked out because I'm actually more creative at night, and I actually focus better on night. But if I have to break off for my stream, sometimes it stops my flow and momentum. So it's actually better if well, it's better I did it now, really. Anyway, lots of love, Rob. Take care to everyone else, and I'll see you soon on the next video live stream. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe below and hit that great big bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live. Right now, I post a new video. For anyone who's new to this channel, don't forget you can check out Asexual Perspectives with the link down below. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Lots of love. Take care, and I appreciate you. Bye.